Hi folks, hope you're okay today, and hope everybody's okay. Love to everybody. Um, I'm just making another video because I really let it rip in that video against Cliff Jumper. I was just so annoyed and so upset with the guy. Um, you know, the guy has no conception, no intelligence at all in understanding how much he made me suffer. He literally nearly caused me to have a breakdown, and based on no evidence at all. He's got no evidence whatsoever. He's not seen any evidence, and it really, he has no idea how much suffering that he caused me. And he's often going on his white horse on this crusade against me sometimes. When it suits him, he wants to be a friend. Like when I was upset on a video, he wanted to be my friend, but that's so he could try and make himself look good. And I forgave him then, and I've tried to offer forgiveness to him. I've tried to offer forgiveness to Fiona, but they just won't give up. Because at the end of the day, it's not about this accusation. It's about the fact that I believe what I believe. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in the Lord. And he and his minions don't like it. They don't like the fact that I will stand up against militant atheism for its psychotic ways. They don't like it because I stand up against militant atheism, and I have done, and they just don't like it. And they are hypocritical. They like to say, oh, well, I say this about an atheist, or I say that about an atheist. But when they say things about me and I demand evidence, they're not willing to provide evidence. And one atheist, who's a private investigator, has come forward and stated categorically that he has seen no evidence to connect me to a vile allegation. And he also admitted that there was vilification and there was a ganging up on me by a large number of atheists, and he admits that. And the atheist community don't want to admit that, and they want to play it down, such as Lenator playing it down. For me, it's over. I've finished. I don't want to get involved with these people. I don't want to get involved in your controversies. I'm not interested. But I'm not going to be bullied. I'm not going to be intimidated. At the end of the day, you're not applying the same skepticism to Fiona as you are to me. You're not being consistent as an atheist community. You're not actually asking her for evidence. You've not seen any evidence. And it's not a case of second-hand evidence. You have to have solid evidence that we can all verify as a community. Otherwise, you should not make any accusation. And it's as simple as that. And she can try and hide behind this law that you can't reveal the children or whatever. We don't want to know the children. That's it. That's a red herring. We want solid evidence to connect me to this accusation. Don't have to include any children. I don't want to know who the children are. I don't want to know, but we need some solid evidence. There's been no solid evidence provided, and I'm not going to be having such a horrible slander by the atheist community put to me without evidence. Now, she's already been exposed for doing these kind of things. So the onus is to provide the evidence. And if there isn't any evidence, then Cliff Jumper and she, as I've said before, are scum. Because they will vilify and attack someone's character and produce such a horrendous slander without any evidence. Now, Cliff Jumper has not seen any evidence. The only thing that he's seen is Fiona upset. But that's not evidence. We want something that connects me to this child. And because there's no evidence, she and he are total scum for trying to make me feel some kind of responsibility for something that is nothing to do with me. Now, as far as I'm concerned, that's the end of it. I don't want nothing to do with these people as far as I'm concerned. It's just a waste of time and a waste of space. Okay? I'm enjoying my Christmas. I'm enjoying Christmas time. You've seen the Google Hangouts where I'm happy. I'm happy having a laugh. I'm happy doing my thing. I'm happy making my scholarly videos. I'm happy preaching. But I'll not be intimidated by someone who continually is unbalanced and continually tries to intimidate me. I won't be intimidated by somebody who's a nutter fruit and nutcase, basically. You don't get to condemn people and hide behind some law that protects children. I don't want nothing. I don't want to even know who these children are. Don't want to know anything about that. What I want to know is I want the evidence you connect me to Fiona's child. That's what I want. And if you don't provide any evidence, you're a total scumbag. It's as simple as that. You don't get to hide behind accusations. If I called you a paedophile, you have a right to turn around and say, where's the evidence? If I don't provide the evidence, I'm total scum for saying that. Right? So, where's your evidence? And that's it. I'm not even going to get involved in it anymore. If you can't provide the evidence that you're a total scumbag. Now, this person has been exposed as a total scumbag. They've been totally exposed, not by Christians, but by atheists, by her own side that she's been exposed. She's been exposed by her own side. Not by me, not by Christians, but by atheists. So her testimony, her credibility is zilch. It is zilch. There is no credibility. All right? So, leave me alone. All right? Leave me alone. You have caused me, Cliff Jumper and Fiona, the most horrendous suffering a man could ever go through. I have suffered immensely because not only did I have that accusation, I had loads of atheists attack me through that, and I had suffered greatly. I suffered greatly, and I offered you forgiveness yesterday. I offered you grace. Now, one atheist has made it very, very clear that he has seen no evidence, and that means that everybody who got involved in the attacking of me at that time didn't have any evidence. And you've got no evidence. So basically, you made a man suffer horrendously without any evidence. Now, I'm not going to dignify your accusations. I'm not going to dignify you as a human being again for these accusations. I'm not going to even talk to you. If you ever come near me, I will phone the police. I will phone the police immediately. If you ever come near me, Cliff Jumper, in town or anywhere, I will phone the police and I'll press charges. And it's as simple as that. I don't ever want to see you. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't want you to come near me, ever. And if you ever do come near me, I will press charges and I'll take you to court. And I'll sue you for damages for making me suffer the way you did. For trying to assault me twice. I will sue you. All right? And that's the end of it from my point of view. Get on with your life. Go and do whatever you want to do. Go and do your YouTube videos. Let her go and do her thing. Let her go and do whatever. But if you ever come near me, ever again, I will sue your ass. I'll press charges and I'll sue you for damages for the immense suffering that you caused me. And I mean it, right? I really, really mean it. Because you've made me suffer horrendously for something where you had no evidence for. You've no justification for what you did to me. And it's as simple as that. And that goes for every one of you out there. At least Mark has the honesty and the compassion as an atheist to admit, and it took a big admit for him. It was a big thing for him to admit. He admits that he never saw any evidence. He admits it. And that's a vindication for me. I'm vindicated. I am 100% vindicated. You cannot condemn a man without evidence. And I'm vindicated that nobody at that time and nobody has seen any evidence from Fiona Robertson. And I don't want it secondhand. We want it totally honest, obvious, solid evidence. The reason why she came up with that accusation is to silence me, because she's had a pattern where if Christian Fundies challenge her, she will make things up about them. Something happened to her son, fine. But what she's done is connected me to it to try and silence me. Just whenever she's challenged, if something happens in her life, she'll connect a Fundy to that, and then the Fundy gets blamed. She tried it with G-Man, she tried it with Ran Campbell, and she's done it to me. I don't have all the technical skills. I don't have all the computer skills to go through, troll everything, and try to trip her up and show and expose her like Galaxy Dream. I don't have those kind of skills. Atheist also commentated under the video and said very, very clearly that that it was to do with something else on Facebook. It was nothing to do with me, that there was some issue on Facebook. And then what she did, this issue, when it came to me, she transferred me onto some issue of Facebook, and it was nothing to do with me. And now they're trying to get out of it by saying, oh, I called her a stalker. That's all. That is not the issue. The issue is what happened afterwards. Who did hear it? Did children hear it? And did they get involved with assaulting someone? That issue has never been proved. That is a very, very disgusting, despicable, vile, wicked thing to have said about anybody, to try and silence them. Just like she's done it with Ran Campbell and done it with G-Man. And like I said, one atheist in that group who was a major player in that group and a major player in attacking me and using this accusation has come out now and stated categorically that he saw no evidence, and that is a 100% vindication for me. And it's a 100% vindication that you, Cliff Jumper, are a nutcase, and you, Fiona, are a bad piece of work. That you would do that to me to try and silence me. Now, I'm not saying nothing happened to your child. I'm sure something happened to your child. Maybe someone did something, some kids, and if they did, terrible. And I would be very, very sad, very, very sad for you if that's the case. But don't you ever dare try and connect anything about your family to me, because you can't do that. You've got no evidence for it, and that you tried to do that shows you in a bad light, how despicable you are for trying to do that. And you need to say sorry and apologize for what you did, because it was despicable. Now, I showed you grace, I showed you love, I forgave you yesterday, I forgave Cliff Jumper, but you're not giving in, you're not yielding to this allegation and saying that you were actually wrong in doing what you did. And you need to. You need to. So I'm chilling out now. I'm getting on with my Christmas. I'm going to enjoy my Christmas. I'm going to have a great Christmas. I'm going to get on. I'm going to get on doing what I like to do, preaching the gospel, lecturing, serving. But don't entwine me in your sick fests, your sick life. That goes to you, Cliff Jumper, and to you, Fiona. You're the ones that are living in sick mental stuff. You're the ones that are inventing stuff. You're the ones that are creating drama, not me. You're the ones that are making horrendous accusations and not willing to provide any evidence. How would you like it, Cliff Jumper, if I accused you of paedophilia and then you said, well, prove it? I said, oh, I can't because it will endanger the children. So basically, I leave your life a wreck without providing any evidence. Sorry, mate, it doesn't work like that. That's why I wouldn't do that to you. Because to do that to you would be horrendous. To put you under that kind of suffering without any evidence would be cruel beyond belief. Would be totally cruel beyond belief. But that's what you, Cliff Jumper, have done to me and Fiona Robertson and the atheist community. But one atheist who was in the midst of it, who was at the heart of it, who was a private investigator, had the bottle, had the honesty to say when he was involved in that he never saw any evidence. And that vindicates me 100%. 100%. And it proves that you as an atheist community who joined in at that time of the vilification and attack on me, that goes for Lenator and many, many others, that you hadn't seen the evidence. And that should mean that you have to be responsible and you have to apologize for that, because that was a serious allegation with no evidence. So you need to provide that evidence. If you don't provide that evidence, you cannot hide behind or the law of the children and all that. I'm sorry, it won't do. Otherwise, we can go and accuse other people. I could accuse the Prime Minister. I could accuse anybody of these kind of things and just condemn them and ruin their reputation and say, oh, I don't have to provide any evidence. So I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that. You're very, very lucky I've not taken you both to court. You're very, very lucky that I've not sued you for slander like that. But I wouldn't do that. I'm not that kind of person. But you're so stupid and so idiotic that you won't let it go. You know, and to me that shows really that you, Cliff Jumper, you don't know Fiona. You don't know her fully well. You've taken on board what she's saying. Yes, I know that you saw that she was upset. Nobody would doubt that you've seen that. Nobody doubts that you're sincere about that. But you have not seen, Cliff Jumper, solid evidence that connects me to that accusation. You've not seen that. And therefore, you're acting on the belief that Fiona is telling the truth, but you're not acting on evidence that you have seen. And we would only know that if we saw that evidence too. And so you have caused tremendous damage because you are not living by your true skepticism, because you're not critically analyzing the situation. You're not critically analyzing the evidence. You've not seen any evidence, and yet you would destroy a man and cause a man to have a nervous breakdown. And she has not provided any evidence. And you're trying to get out of it, trying to protect yourselves by saying, oh, according to the law, we can't provide you with the evidence. There was some atheist at that time when it broke out, mentioned under the video on one of your videos. They said this. They said that this isn't to do with Jason. It's to do with Facebook. That's what they said. There was something on Facebook that happened to do with her child and to do with other people. And when the controversy came up with me, because I was challenging atheist, she, in order to silence me, connected me to what happened to her family on Facebook. And she used that to put on me to silence me. That's what happened. And you, being gullible, believed her. Believed her story without actually being critical and seeing through it. But others in the atheist community have seen through her. They've seen what she's like, that she has a history, and the whole of your group has a history. Whenever you're challenged, you invent things about the fundies to silence them. And you have a history, your group. Even when your own group deconstruct themselves, you will pin stuff on your own group by attaching some of the blame to the fundies. anywhere where you can get out of the responsibility of facing up to the things that you've done wrong. And I'm not going to suffer anymore. I'm not going to get involved in this controversy. I'm not going to get. If you don't provide the evidence, then you're just a waste of space. I'm not going to even give you the time of day. I've been literally raped for the last 6 months. You raped me emotionally on YouTube. You caused me to have a nervous breakdown. You completely, utterly, nearly destroyed me as a human being because of a false allegation and because of the conduct that you and a number of atheists and Fiona got up to over that 6 months towards me. And you're accusing me of not wanting to sort it out like a man. I'm sorry. How can you sort it out like a man when the person who's making the accusations will not provide the evidence? So all it is just a Fiona Robertson screaming fest of swearing at you and being angry at you. And that's all it was. Every time I was in debates, every time I debated, she'd come up and she'd scream and swear at me. This is 6 months after. And I'm trying to talk to her about evolution. I'm trying to talk to someone else about the existence of God. And she comes and she starts screaming and shouting and swearing. Why? Because it's all about keeping Jason Storm. It's all about silencing Jason. It's all about taking Jason out. It's all about destroying his reputation so that he doesn't have a right to speak. He doesn't have a right to debate. That's all it's about. And the proof and the evidence of that is from that atheist Mark, who clearly stated that there was no evidence provided. So that means atheist masses of them were reacting and doing things against me based on no evidence. And that is absolute proof that there was vilification and there was persecution and there was ganging up and cyberbullying of me without any evidence whatsoever. And at least one atheist had the guts, the balls to actually say it. So, you know, the reason why these two videos have been emotionally charged is because people don't realize how much they made me suffer over that 6 months. They really, really, really made me suffer. They made me suffer horrendously. And I don't bear any malice, I don't bear any hate to these people. And I offered forgiveness yesterday. I offered the most loving, kind forgiveness. But when people like Cliff Jumper are making videos proud and being bombastic and trying to rub my nose in it, I'm sorry, it's not going to work. I'm not going to be intimidated. I just want to be left to get on with my ministry. I want to get on with my preaching of the word of God. I want to get on with debates. I want to get on with these things. And if you can't cope as an atheist community, people like Cliff Jumper and Fiona Robertson can't cope with the fact that I'm on top, the fact that I'm happy, the fact that I'm getting on with life and enjoying life, the fact that I'm a winner, not a loser, that I'm getting victory over my issues, that I'm doing things, I'm positive and getting on with my life. If you can't cope with that as an atheist community, then I'm sorry, but I'm not going to get dragged back into the kind of world that you're in, this kind of accusatory world where you don't provide evidence, this accusatory world where you take it out of YouTube land, where you nearly destroy a person's life and you think it's funny. And Cliff Jumper, you come across as if you're this crusader, but you've had a smirk on your face for the last few weeks because you think you're some kind of darling of the atheist community. You've been on the Magic Sandwich Show and you think you're in the in crowd, you're like one of the big boys. Got yourself a bit of a reputation on YouTube. But all you are, Cliff Jumper, is DPR Jones's pimp. Sorry, all you are, Cliff Jumper, is You're just DPR Jones hussy. Everybody, whoever comes close to me, Ozzy got close to me. DPR Jones gets to know him, gets him on his show. You got close to me. What does DPR Jones do? He gets you on his show. You're just a little tool for the atheist like DPR Jones. You're not a big shot. You've not done anything great on YouTube. You got yourself a little bit of notoriety. But I want to tell you something, mate. Right? I'm the real deal. I'm a preacher of the gospel, and I'm serving the Lord, and I'm getting on with it. And I'm never going to let anybody like you take away my joy, my love for Jesus, and my passion for preaching the gospel. Never going to let you or anybody else take that away. And I extend forgiveness and love to you and grace to you as much as Christ wants me to, and I will do that. But you will never, ever intimidate me. You'll never, ever silence me from preaching the gospel. And you can go around, talk sweet and nice, all like you do. But the fact of the matter is, Cliff Jumper, you've got issues in your life that you're not sorting out, that you need to sort out. One of those issues is you are too gullible. You're willing to make snap judgments about someone else who's not a Christian, who's a Christian, but you're not willing to make snap judgments about someone on your own side. And I know what you say. Oh, you say she's a Christian, but she isn't a Christian, and you know she isn't a born again believer. At the end of the day, I treat my enemies with grace, because if you were to fall, if someone provides any evidence against you, my friend, I will be the first one to be there to pick you up. I showed grace to Fiona Robertson yesterday. I showed her the love of Christ, but because of you and your stupid video keeping the drama going, then I can't get close to you. I can't go near you if you've got that kind of mentality. But I'm willing to extend the grace and the love of God to any of my enemies. I'm willing to help them. I'm willing to hug them. I'm willing to show them the love of Christ. But you've got to take responsibility, sir. You screwed up big time. Big time. Big time. You screwed up big time. And the fact that you won't have the honesty and the guts to own up and say sorry shows how really deep down amongst that niceness of you is a very malicious person. The fact that the fact that she will not come out and present any evidence, whatever, shows the caliber of the woman. The fact that she would use her child to try and destroy me shows you the caliber of the woman. And I'm done. Sir, you ain't no match for me, Cliff Jumper. You never was, you never are, and you never will. I've had more battles on YouTube than any atheist on YouTube. I am Jason. I'm a preacher of the gospel. The only way that the atheist community will ever defeat me is if some atheist champion of ability debates me in an academic debate and kicks my butt. That is the only way you would ever even come close to defeating me. But you as an atheist community have never been able to do it. You can't do it, and you won't do it. You won't debate me on the resurrection of Christ. And so all you've got in your armory is these kind of accusations, these kind of slanders, these kind of tactics, these kind of ways of going about things. But I want you to know that at the end of the day, I'm not going away. I'm going to be here for a long time. I'm going to be preaching the gospel. I'm going to be serving the Lord. It doesn't matter what crap you throw at me. At the end of the day, I'm never going to give up, because I'm here to stay. I'm here to proclaim the word of God. I'm here to preach the gospel. I'm not here to cause drama. I didn't want to get involved in the drama. You made the video. You made this attack on me when I extended the kindness and love of God. I'm not here to cause drama. I don't want to get involved in the drama. I was having a great time a few days ago. I don't want to get involved with you. But at the end of the day, I'm going to have to go in a minute. At the end of the day, I'm happy. I'm getting on with my life. And if you don't provide evidence, I'm not wasting my time with you. I'm chilling out and I'm enjoying my life. Yeah? Okay, I'll come in. Who is it? Just put the phone down now. Very funny. So, at the end of the day, I'm just going to get on with my life. I'm chilling out. And you've got nothing better to do with your lives than to bring up these kind of accusations. And I just want to enjoy my life and get on with it. And I don't want to get involved with you people. All right. So, I mean, if you want to throw out these accusations now and continue to do that, that's up to you. You know, I'm sorry that in that first video against Cliff Jumper, I was a bit upset, a bit angry, because I was just upset because I don't think he realizes how much I've suffered. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to get involved in these kinds of things. If you want to be that kind of drama queenie and do these kind of things, that's up to you. But at the end of the day, you can't beat me in debate. You've never beat me in debate. You never will beat me in debate. You've not got the courage. You've not got the passion. You've not got the tenacity that I have. I believe what I believe. I believe the Bible. I believe Jesus. I believe the Son of God. I believe there's a heaven and a hell. That's my passion. And I believe it with all my heart. And I'll preach it. And yeah, I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes on YouTube. I've said things I shouldn't have said. And I've apologized. I make mistakes. I've made mistakes. But at the end of the day, I'm true. I truly believe what I believe. I have not made a penny off anybody. I've not montaged my videos. I've not tried to make any videos, any money off my videos. There's some videos that I've had that have had over 100,000 views that have been on my channels. And I've never made a penny, and I won't make a penny off any of my videos. Why? Because I believe in what I believe in. I believe in Jesus. I believe in the Lord. I believe in it with all my heart. And the most important thing for me is for people to get saved. Not that I be famous, not that I be known, not anything. But I did not deserve that vilification that came against me for 6 months. I did not deserve it. For all my mistakes and all my failure, I did not deserve it. And you're backing the wrong horse. And at the end of the day, I wish everybody well. I wish all the atheists well. But I've said everything that I've said. And I'm never going to take those videos back, because those videos that I made against militant atheism were 100% correct about militant atheism. And I was one of the few people in the West that made a stand against militant atheism. And I'm proud I made that stand. I might not have been the best. I might not have been the best that I could have been. But I made a stand. And I fought the fight against militant atheism. And I'm glad I did that. Because somebody needed to make a stand against militant atheism. And yet I shouldn't have made some of the angry videos. Yet I shouldn't have said some of the things that I said. But many of the things that I said against militant atheism needed to be said. And if you can't cope with that as atheist, if you can't cope with someone challenging you, being vigorous and bold against you, then what is atheism about? If it can't tackle and defeat someone intellectually by intellectual debate and argument, if you can't defeat that person in intellectual debate and argument, then what's the point of holding on to atheism? Why resort to isolation, oscillation, vilification, and all the rest of it against somebody? Why do underhanded tactics against someone if atheism is so powerful and so supreme? Why not just organize academic debates with the guy and floor the guy in pure intellectual debate, evidence and logic? Why not do that? But you couldn't do that with me. You could never take me out. Whenever I did have debates, it would be 10 people come on a channel. Whenever I did debate, you bring up issues that are only peripheral issues rather than actually stick to the arguments. You never ever could send a champion who could defeat me in debate. Not that I'm the cleverest. I'm not the cleverest. I'm not the brightest. But you can never send anybody to have a fair academic debate and wipe the floor with me. You could never do it. And that's because atheism is vacuous. Atheism doesn't have anything to offer. And like I said, I'm the real deal. I really believe the Bible. I really believe the Word of God. I really believe it. And I really love people. And I love my enemies. I would do anything for Cliff Jumper. I would do anything for Fiona. I would do anything for DPR Jones. If DPR Jones wanted my kidney, he could have my kidney. If Fiona Robertson didn't have anywhere to stay, she could come and stay here. If Cliff Jumper was had trouble, I'd be there for him. And he knows it. I'm willing to love my enemies. I'm willing to be there for my enemies. And I love people, and I want the best for people, and I want them to know Jesus. And that's what I live for. So yeah, I'm not the best person. Yeah, I've failed. Yeah, I've made mistakes. But militant atheism needed to be challenged. Yeah, I weren't at the best. Yeah, I wasn't at the best. I came through a difficult time in my life. But God can use all those videos. He can use all the things that I said about militant atheism, and they needed to be said. And yet I've said things that I shouldn't have said, and I've apologized for those things. But I believe in what I believe. I believe in Christ. I believe in the Lord. I believe in it with all my heart. And the day I die, I'll die a preacher. I'll die preaching the gospel. Because I believe it. And I don't want to get into any drama. I don't want to cause any drama anymore. I'm not interested in that. I want to preach for Jesus. I want to preach so that souls get saved. I want to preach that people may know the Lord. I want people to grow up in Christ. I want to defend the faith. I would love to have academic debates with atheists, but they're not willing to do it. They're cowards. But I'm Jason, and you can't destroy Jason and think that's the end of it. You can't crush Jason and get rid of him and say, right, that I'll tell you why, because I'm too big a personality. I'm too big a personality. I'm not a pushover. And because I'm real. I'm real. This is really me. I wear my heart on the sleeve. I tell you as it is. The real me. I live with my heart on my sleeve, and it's the real me. And I can't help being the real me. I can't help sharing who I am. I can't help telling you what I'm thinking. I can't help revealing how I'm feeling. If I cry, I cry. If I laugh, I laugh. That's me. And if you don't like me, I'm sorry, but that's me. I'm not one of these preachers or ministers who hides the real them, who pretends to be something that they're not. I have weaknesses, I have failures, I have mistakes. I paraded my emotions on YouTube, but at the end of the day, I'm me and I'm real. And whether you believe what I say, whether you don't believe what I say, one thing about me is I believe this stuff. I believe the Bible is the word of God. I believe Jesus is the Son of God. I believe he died. I believe he rose again. I believe we have to live a holy life. And if I make a mistake, I am sorry. And I am sorry for the mistakes that I make. I am sorry for the things that I've done wrong. We've all made mistakes. We've all failed. And I don't put myself up as a paragon of virtue. But I'm a man of God. And I want to walk with God. And I want to live for God. And I want to serve God. And any faults that I have, any mistakes that I have said, I have readily accepted responsibility, and I have said sorry. And it is not right nor fair for any atheist community or any atheist or anybody to throw upon me an accusation without any evidence to try to destroy that person's life. I did not and do not deserve that. However much you hate me, however much you think, whatever you think of me, I did not deserve that and do not deserve that. And I deserve the same kind of skepticism that you apply to other areas of life. I deserve the same skepticism in this situation with Fiona. Not because I'm special, not because I'm anybody, but because I'm a human being, and that kind of accusation can destroy a man's life. And without evidence, it should not even be heard. I would never ever swap this journey in my life. I would never ever change this journey that I have had on YouTube. I would never change it in a million years. I treasure that I met DPR Jones. I treasure that I met Cliff Jumper. I treasure that I met Fiona Robertson. I treasure that I met Making Explicit, that I have met Blue, that I have met Lenator, that I have met Captain Awesome, that I have met Aaron Ra, that I have met Arcane, True Empiricism, Vekel, G-Man, Rand Campbell, Raw. They are treasures in my history. I will never forget them. You are all a treasure to me. I treasure the mistakes that I made. I treasure every video that I made, even though many of them were silly. Why? Because it's my journey. It's Jaybo's journey. And on that journey, I can honestly say, in my journey, I would never, ever, ever want any harm to be done to any person. Ever. Ever. In all that journey, never, ever, ever once would I ever, ever want any harm done to any person on YouTube. Not one. Whether it would be an adult or a child. Never, ever have I ever said or done anything on YouTube that I would want anybody to be hurt in any way. But it's my journey. And you can see that journey over 7 years, and you can see the story of Jason. You can see it for all its wonderful glory, for all its failure, for all its tragedy, and for all its heights and its laughs and its ups and downs. You can see all that story of Jaybo. And you can enjoy that journey. You can cry, you can weep, you can laugh, you can be embarrassed, you can do all the emotions that you could ever think of. You can feel in the journey of Jaybo. But at the end of the day, there are two things that you will remember from that journey. Well, maybe three. Number one, that he's part of the human race and he's part of our humanity. Number two, he's as frail as everybody else. Frail in his hurts, frail in his weaknesses, frail in his mistakes. And number three, boy, we might not agree with the guy, But that guy does believe it. We might not think he lives it, but he does believe it. And I believe it. I'm not the best Christian in the world, but I believe this stuff. Until my dying breath, I will never ever join you as atheists. I will never ever 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 in a million years join you in your ranks for atheism. I'll never do it. I'm not trying to get at you. I'm just telling you, I'll never ever join your ranks. I'll never come on your side. I'll always be on the side of the Bible-believing Christians. I'll always be on the side of Christ. I'll always be preaching him. I'll always be proclaiming the gospel. Always. Always, to my dying day, I will be preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ. And I want to wish every atheist out there a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you, Cliff Jumper, a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you, Fiona, a Merry Christmas. Even if you won't say sorry. And yeah, I know I've called you scum. And I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. But I do wish you a Merry Christmas. Because you hurt me so much. I shouldn't have said it, but it's because I was hurt by you so much. But I do wish you a Merry Christmas, and I wish every atheist a Merry Christmas. I wish all my enemies out there a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I sincerely do. But I'll be preaching the gospel, and I respectfully ask that you would respect my right to preach that gospel. And I respectfully ask that you would leave me in peace and let me be happy in being Jason, in preaching the gospel, doing my lectures. And if perchance you want to come on my Google Hangouts and chat like Geek and Ray did the other day, and we had a great time. We had a really good time. And if you want to do that, then that would be great. I don't want to get involved in these kind of things. I just want to enjoy life. I want to enjoy preaching. I want to enjoy serving the Lord. And this has been the best time in Christmas for me. This has been the happiest Christmas I've ever had. And I want it to stay like that. You can tell whether I'm sad and you can tell whether I'm happy. Look at my face. Look at it. That's a happy, fulfilled man. That's J-Ball happy. I've been a bit upset because of this situation with Cliff Jumper. But you can tell whether I'm really sad or really happy by looking at Jason's face. That face tells you that I'm happy. I'm the happiest I've ever been. I'm content. Because I'm in the right place doing the right thing. And I don't want to get dragged into that world again. All right. So I wish everybody the best. I've gone on, and that's it really. I just wanted to clear everything out. Chilling out. I'm chilling out. Well, I don't know, but I want to get on, and I just wish everybody the best. And that's it really. God bless you. Love to everybody. And have a good Christmas. And just, why can't you just leave me in peace? Leave me alone as atheist and pick on somebody else. Leave me alone. You can't seem to leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Let me get on being me, preaching the gospel, doing my lectures and having my Google Hangouts. And just get on and go and fight someone else. I'm not going to respond to you again. All right. God bless you and take care. God bless.